G2, they've switched things up. They're back to the Yoru, and now they're adding the tail into the mix, like he alluded to.
Yeah, exactly. Going back to that Viper, somewhere that they're comfortable. Isu, this is the first time that he's going to be playing the way lane. He's going to be doing an all for nothing here in Corrode. So definitely it adds even more speed onto this double duelist. You're going to be dealing with a lot of very fast aggression, and I think that the person that I expect to lift up the team is Stax.
I'm interested to see how G2 approach mid-control on their attacking side. They're going to get beat out in those fights by the Neon if they go hard, so super interested to see how much they turn this map around with limited time.
Well, G2, they're one map away from getting their revenge. Let's see Bren and Saito. What's T1 are made of here?
Hopefully sterner stuff here for T1, and honestly with the composition change, should be back in their wheelhouse. Izu and Buzz, double duelist, very exec heavy, very teamfight heavy as well. You can really go for it on this map, and even G2 as well making a couple of changes obviously from their last composition.
Absolutely.
Double Sentinel,
yeah, both
toss them out the window.
Yeah, going from double Sentinel to double Initiator, zero Sentinel, so it does make a huge difference to the comps. We haven't seen either of these teams on exactly these comps. No idea what to expect.
Meteor peeking early on, but he might have just missed that timing. Drone, though, is going to be spoiling most of that. Tries to pre-aim it. Meteor will take it out. The wall in his face, though. Setting this one up. Prowler going to be broken nice and early. Stray shots from Stax, praying. Hoping for a connection, even getting a lot of damage chipped down into him. Wall triggered out, slowing down the fight once more. Shots in the dark on either side.
Buzz picking up a bit of info over towards mid. This Viper Wall very committed to an A finish. So even if you go back and re-explore, they're just looking to push people back and still end in an A split, I've got to imagine. I mean, T1 are not going to want to move their defenders away too much.
Leaf is deep inserted. Might be choosing to take a timing against Meteor as well. Fight to be had. He is hard tucked into the corner into A main currently, while this little bit of a sprint and pivot occurs over towards the other side of things.
It looks like they were thinking about running a B fake, and now Spike in this direction. Maybe Valen deciding to just end on B.
Yeah, maybe a bit of hard committal. You've seen that double dash over. Izu, hello. You've seen plenty of bodies, and he's out in the open. They've jumped on him.
All right.
And we're seeing it flood in here, and attempt by T1, at least the salvos make it so that there's only one pocket to stay in and stand in and try and stand your ground. Still Valen's overwhelmed by that presence, but the bodies, they flood in afterwards. And after the fact here, G2 do have control of this, but it's still a 2v3 on pistol rounds. Anything's doable, anything's possible. Comes down to these fights that are taken. Stax wins his out, but he's the last one left now into that 1v2. A lot of damage done to Leaf prior. One bullet will do him in. Doesn't matter where it lands, and he is hard clearing all of these positions. Found his mark, leaves it into the 1v1. Damage done though, 44 HP. Trent playing off here in a position that is planted in. It's not really ideal from him up towards top heaven. Trent taking that peak jump spot. Stax half onto the defuse already. He's earned himself a bit of a spot to win in here. Time pressure eased off, but Trent still lands those shots. And a pistol round here for G2.
Big reaction there from Stax as well. Both hands on his head. Refocus now for the next round, but you could tell that he's pretty devastated that he lost that. And that was the exact moment where E2 realized that he messed up. Yeah. He double dashed in with his tracked out in the open to try to get some information. And they're way closer than he realizes. Yeah, there's the reaction I'm talking about. Stax not happy with just where his bullets went there towards the end. That was very winnable. He was in a nice position. But it's E2's mistake that opens things. We're not sure how good either of these teams are going to be with this comp, or these comps. T1 could have been practicing it for weeks.
Drone, hello, TP, but you're still hard committed into the corner of the fight. They haven't cleared him. Drugstore's here. Surely there would be that return of the fire. It is there. You're right about the practice levels of these teams on these compositions, especially for T1. We haven't seen them since week 3 of Pacific.
Yeah.
On Corrode, so.
We at least know that G2, this is a last-minute pivot. You don't know for T1 how long they've been playing this. Leaf, checking the flank. You've got to be doing that pretty religiously because no Sentinel in your comp giving you that flank watch. But the no Sentinel comps are really powerful here on Corrode. On attack and even on defense. They can be very, very good. So I actually like the comps that both teams are playing. They go in different directions, but I have no qualms with them. A lot better than the Cypher Sage stuff anyway that somebody cooked up in the G2 camp. That one needed adjustment. 3 Stingers coming into the next round. as G2 look to try to win a bonus. This A wall has been the main thing that Leaf is running with.
Yeah, pulled out as the default wall rather than the one through mid.
It's a little bit strange because normally you want the Viper to help you take some mid control. And you normally see teams with the double duelist relying more on the site execs. Double initiator, not as much.
Beat pressure early on here by G2, looking to take the orb up. TP committed to as well, so now they're starting to pile bodies over towards the opposite side of the map.
Yeah, Valen's definitely messed with T1's defensive setup at the moment, but there's still a Vice to get through over here. A wall, and when the wall gets contact, a flash.
Yeah, Meteor is able to swing off of that one.
And Meteor can just jump peek this the whole time because Leaf hasn't committed this orb in the direction. Normally there's an orb that lands on top of bricks right here. And Meteor wouldn't be able to jump peek it.
Still going to hold it down. G2 was looking for the reaction, perhaps, reclearance.
That seems to suggest they don't realize the Vice is here.
Yeah.
Because if the Vice wall is in A main, they're not going to be clearing that deep.
The wall cuts it up, Horn spots and reveals Izu's position. The dash backing away here, but Meteor does find himself stray Jorgamo. Leaf is also forwards past that wall, but he's very much alone with that timing that he's caught. He's off to the side here. Nightfall now can get a bit of a move on. The Hinder drop down and lay it down at his feet. Izu needs that defense and needs that response. T1 trying to at least approach rapidly to the scene. They're trying to help that fight happen and occur, but the backstab picked apart from the seams. G2 still not ready for this fight to be taken. T1 are so damn fast here, and time is ran short. Jonah P can't quite land that shot. One bullet would have helped. With how low Buzz is, T1 still hold on. 2 players surviving against the bonus.
It looked dangerous for a moment there. Jorg giving away his life a little easily, and Leaf caught by the Saturate. But the Fate Ultimate offered them an opportunity, and as you say, Valen just had, I mean, look at that. He has no clue that there's a player already that deep on the corner.
Let's go, guys!
So danger averted, but also look at the buy here for G2. It's not like it's amazing. There's an Outlaw. That's got 3 targets that it could pluck.
Yeah, could do some work.
Yeah, so Leaf very deliberately going over to that. And again, the Vice set up over towards A. The wall as well in that direction.
Oh, and a flash.
My ult's ready.
DH will have to respect that. Dimensional Drift has been earned up. Prior work put in.
Same kind of call here from Valen.
Contact reclearing. Trent needs to try and hold that down. It's good, quick with the reaction, so Izu's going to be dropped. Meteor is right there behind him. If he goes down, the setup on A does too.
To be honest, the setup on A is already going to be under serious threat because Jorgamo's ultimate. He's going to find out exactly what's going on. The clone already triggered the wall as well.
Not broken.
I mean, A is very weak currently.
Dimensional Drift sets the tone for the rest of this round now. Smoke's propped up. Util being used as well for due diligence. Meteor to salvo his feet. He's forced forwards into the fight here. There's a lot of information gathered up by Jorgamo off and around. That's a reclear Cord 4. Sees down at the feet to try and defend. A lot of damage done, but Leaf still having his one. There's a fight on those multiple fronts. The A site, though, is given up. Forced to by T1. They lose enough players in the process. Leaves it down to that 2v4.
If you can't find an easy kill here, you might want to go for a save. DH is poking.
Yeah, Leaf still watching it.
I think you've got to save at this point. But Jorg, I was going to say Jorg is coming around behind, but it's Leaf with a headshot. Takes down DH from long distance. That Outlaw got so much value. But also, the calling here from Valen is ruining T1. He's B-defaulting at the start of the round and then just going back into the Viper setup. The clone is breaking the wall. There was only 1 player on the site the whole time as well. There's no chance for T1 when their defensive rotate to put 3 players on the opposite site. Valen's finding the weak site and ending A almost every time. Again, Viper wall goes towards A. T1 not really abusing it by dominating mid. Not getting info on B quickly enough to re-clear. I mean, at the moment, why would you change anything?
No, same stuff, same setup.
It's T1 that need the adjustment quickly. I'd be tempted if I was Autumn to try to call attack timeout here, actually. Might see it before the next rifle round.
Adjustments needed. Oh, shots. Buzz Barely puts his body away from it here. Still alive, though, for now. Time can be your biggest enemy when you're up against an eco, though. And it's definitely being played by G2.
Yeah, nobody over towards A main, so I don't think this is going to be the same from Valen. This might be the round where they put a bit of pressure B and actually end in that direction.
Drawing for the clearance. Hearing a lot of that util. Thorns are going to be deaded nice and early.
He's hitting the heavy side this time.
Yeah. Pre-aiming in multiple directions, looking for the horn, looking for signs of life all over. Leaf is very much out, and he opened down towards mid, but here it is. Util's going to be exchanged. Handshake there with a stun, the paranoia. There's 30 seconds left. Jorgamo does get his pick, but where the hell are you going? Straight into Izu. Very close, though. That hinder to try and slow them down once more. But oh my god, it doesn't stop Leaf, does it? Right around the corner, right click in your face. No denying that kind of push back. And time was short, but it's played down to the tiniest of details. And with 11 seconds left, they will be able to get that plant down.
Spike planted.
No way for Meteor to contest in this spot.
One enemy.
And what could have been a very dangerous round just ends up with G2 testing that pressure on B, realizing that it was a bit too much and backing out. That's the advantage of the Yoru, I suppose. Because Jorg was able to get in, have a feel, escape, and then even found a kill, I think, through a smoke towards the end as well.
Yeah.
30 seconds left.
Yeah, there it is. Onto the edge. And here comes this timeout from T1. I'm more a fan of taking these before the ecos, but I think it's fine either way here. Autumn's got to come up with an adjustment, though. Because right now, G2 are doing some pretty simple stuff. They're never really in control of mid unless it's the late round, and they still have double drone to be able to go late round through mid, so it's not too much of a problem for them. But they're pushing the defenders back over towards B. They're forcing T1 to stack the B site a bit more, and then they just go back into A with Leaf's setup. And that, I think, is a big problem. Now, do you want a trap play over towards B, perhaps, that you then dissolve? Do you want, in the mid-round, to be pushing down mid so that you have a flank retake going against the no sentinel comp?
You can get active with the comp that they're running.
Sure. Do you want maybe to try to put pressure on Leaf at the start of the round? You know, if you see Leaf throw an orb lineup at the very beginning on A, you could try to punish him by going for the waylay, saturate, paranoia trap play that we saw Aspas run. Yeah, there are many different options. I think part of the question is going to be how much practice have T1 actually had? Do they have all of these things in their strat book to be able to work around?
Yeah.
And also, if I'm Josh, I'm calling something very different for this round coming up. Because you know that Autumn's made an adjustment based on your default game plan, so...
You want to subvert expectations.
Exactly.
Same setup, though, for T1 in terms of device util over towards A.
There is no fight left in them now.
But completely swapping up where G2 are playing. So the defaulting happening towards A while Leaf controls B. And I think this is because they're anticipating a trap play on B.
Now look at that, holding their ground, ready for it. Just in case, T1's comp does have that potential for explosive power. Be able to take a fight rapidly on their own terms. Deep down mid.
T1 controlling mid at the start of this round, and the op posted on this line.
He spots it. Crazy peek as well. He's just spamming with a couple of bullets, but doesn't really want to contest with the rest of that.
It's good information as well. It tells you a lot about the defensive setup. You know that A is going to be stacked. You know that T1 have mid. Question is now, how do G2 deal with that? Bold from E2 as well.
Yeah.
Good info for his team, but how far do you want to get onto this line?
It's a lot of angles to clear there. It's very brave. It's deep though. T1 to be able to stack this one over. Bit of spam and stray shots, that's straight into the smoke. So Jorgamo gone. He's the initiator factor, really. The only duelist that can play off of most of this. Off of that drone, 30 seconds left roughly here. Nightfall's going to be hard committed. T1 just trying to stun this one. DH getting a bit of a move on. Running down here, the horn has to be broken, and Izu, he's way out open. 20 seconds left roughly. He's trying to get the backstab going for them because G2 are none the wiser. They have to clear all sorts of sections here. This is chaos. In a few final moments here, trying to go all the way up and already returning T1. They collapse from every single side. Calling a G2 for as much as we're praising it. Got away from him there.
Yeah, well, I think that's a great adjustment called by Autumn, too. Great usage of attack timeout to completely give your team a different defensive setup that worked wonders. The fact that E2 wasn't pushed off that B line allowed everybody else on T1 to be stacking over towards mid and A. Makes an A exec almost impossible. And then you saw that scramble at mid. So, really nice idea from T1. See if they run something similar again here. And Meteor can also hold on to a site a bit more easily himself because now he has a steel guard.
Mark 2.
Decoy.
Storm going to be broken this time. Hinder on the other side of things as well will force that TP back out, so the wall remains up for T1.
It's a similar idea, but it's DH jiggle peeking instead of an op in this direction. And G2 realize they need to push this B player off the line, and that'll pull more defenders back to B. So now you can go back and reclear through mid. So Valen already adjusting to this new defensive idea from T1.
Interesting smoke. As well, what a wide face, Meteor! Dyson with death here, buddy. Deep TP as well is committed for, and Jogamo happy to take that fight. He was set up with that util.
Well, now you can split B.
And now going to be applying that. That's heat turned up now onto these T1 players. They make a snap call, trying to take that fight over towards B main. Maintain control of it. Flip the side away, but G2 are not the ones going into this. It's Trent left to contain, and he's just absolutely ruined them. Ruined their day.
That's an unbelievable play from Trent in that spot.
It's all gone wrong on every single area.
Spike planted.
I mean, I love the on-the-fly adjustment from T1 to decide to fight over B main there. They got the jump immediately onto Leaf, but Trent, playing like he was at the start of the year, best player in the world kind of form there to pick off both of them. Yeah, he has cooled down over the course of the year, but you still get glimpses of it like that.
Ulting Neon in your face and landing that shot.
Yeah, just a clean one-tap with the Vandal. And you see the call too. G2 were thinking about going for a B split, and then once Trent got pressured, they were like, well, now we're going to have to go into a weird A split through spawn. And Trent's like, nah, don't worry, boys. I just cleaned up both of them, and the spike goes back in their direction.
He's just backing away playing his life, and Izu doesn't even get to keep that operator. A consolation prize into the next tier, now 5-2 for G2.
And Valen's done a good job in that round of recognizing the problem. Going and pushing the B player off the line.
G2 very good at making those snap calls as well to pivot.
Yeah, the double initiator gives you a good way of being able to contest mid in the mid round. Especially when the defenders are not running a Viper wall too. I mean, if you were running a Viper wall that went through mid, maybe it'd be a bit more difficult, but you wait out DH's smoke and you don't have too much to worry about. Oh, here's the Aspas play.
Yep, here it is, trying to make a play towards it. Let's see if they're even ready for it. Yes, they are. Players in spawn ready to defend. Jonah P, a couple of stray bullets with the help of the rest of his team.
It's incredible how quickly the pros adjust.
Yeah, already ready for it. And Leaf, of course, always tracking the money in the economy, knows that he's up against no armor, half armor, whatever it might be.
Give it a couple of weeks and you won't even be able to get away with that playing ranked. Everyone's going to be holding for it.
But close there, Buzz. Not able to play.
Player standing.
Cheeky little angle and corner. This is G2 systematically ripping apart the map.
And the ults that they're getting online are monstrous too.
Yeah, it's a dangerous comp. You don't really want to get it going, but they don't really have an option at this point. T1.
I mean, in the next round, you can combo together
Spike planted.
the Nightfall with Jorg or Valen getting into a deep position.
Yep.
You know, a teleport from Jorg or even the Omen ultimate, right? And then any space that you get on site, you have a pick going down. It's going to become extremely difficult for T1 on a map that I think even with these comps probably should still be a bit defense-sided. But it's tough to say when we've got double duelist on one side, double initiator with no Senti on the other. But, you know, at the very least, it should be even, and G2 look like they're running away with it on a map that has been their worst.
What fast adjustments G2 have had to make as well. They've had real, no time, I can imagine. Not really much practice in terms of completely alternating the composition you want to play. Because it is a big change. You're going from a double initiator from the double Senti.
Yeah, they're still playing their so slow style. But, yeah, a lot of the details do shift up. Huge credit to them. What?
Hello?
I tell you.
Is he okay?
He's got a problem with someone.
Yeah, lead paint stare, I think. I don't know. He's been doing that often. That's a flash, though. Unable to really break the horn. So DH! He's out in the open. Jorgamo pounces on the chance. That's a deep hit to try and get him into the B side. This is offloaded nice and early. Unorthodox almost, but Buzz is given a bit of space as well to try and play his way in. Does at least delete that, so the ult's not going to be getting too much value with the TP, but Jorgamo happy to clean up the rest.
Flashing off the info that the Omen ult gives you is diabolical. G2 are in position. 5v3. utilizing those ults like I was talking about to be able to get themselves into a great spot, and even doing a hard punish there, right off the round rip onto DH. They know that someone is going to be trying to play aggressive on B because that's what Autumn told them to do coming out of the tag timeout. And G2 are like, well, since we know you're going to be there, I guess we'll just punish you with a flash haunt setup and run you down.
That's filthy stuff here from G2.
Even if that had been Itsu with the AWP, he would have been pressed to get out of there, I think, quickly with the light speed. Wow, come on!
Get out of here, man!
God, it's 7-2 already, Valen. Let them keep their guns. Give them a hope.
Just disgusting stuff. Stacks praying here that he can keep hold of the weaponry, but look at that movement, man. There's just no way. And this is G2, they're making a mockery of T1 right now.
For the love of God, have some mercy.
They've been dreaming of this match for months. They are turning up big time here. T1, they're the ones being left to adjust, and they're the ones that are using their second timeout.
This is the first comp where I've seen G2 play it, and I think it has serious legs on Corrode as well. Because considering that they've only just started...
Enemy remaining.
Yo, Meteor, can you even shoot back or no?
He's been in the shower reciting those lines, I can tell.
Oh, yeah.
He's been thinking about it.
As soon as he watched the T1 documentary, he was just thinking, thinking to himself the kind of things he's going to be shouting across. Oh, bro. Yeah, G2 have come into this one viewing themselves as the protagonists, haven't they?
And listen, we'll reset the stakes as well. I mean, this is elimination. If you go out here, it's 9-12 in terms of your position, and no one remembers those teams. Like you said earlier, they only remember if you're expected to do more.
And I think, you know, it's arguable, it's debatable whether T1 are expected to do more. I think you'd expect them maybe to have a chance of making playoffs, but this is a tough group.
Yeah,
You've got
very
G2
tough.
and Heretics in here. T1 didn't set themselves up for success with their seed in Pacific, but they look like they could have and still might be able to make a bit of a run here. What is that?
I don't know.
Looking
down the avenues, man. Little alleyways and all sorts here. But it needs to be the adjustment from T1. There needs to be a turnaround because this is it. Could be the last game you play this year.
Going from winning the first Masters in Bangkok. An incredible run. Cinderella, unbelievable miracle run, I think. To not even making playoffs of champions would be a bitter disappointment for T1, for these players that have been at so many champs events.
Jorgamo didn't even need that orb. Just took it for the sake of it, denying it from the opposition.
I mean, that is just cruelty.
Yeah. Keep smoke propped down now. Would have drone to set the pace now potentially being brought towards it. But again, it is just slow and steady and always has been on this attack side for G2.
It's quite a nice haunt from Stax. He threw a haunt over towards B main and cleared out that space. Now, it didn't clear everything, but it has meant that they're not calling for reinforcements, and they've still got a spread defensive setup where they might be able to flood and defend and help Meteor, but it's going to come down to sheriff shots. The weaponry is just so light for T1.
Dimensional drift here. It's going to be pointing out all the usual suspects. Players' positions noted. Meteor does have a big ult for this one, but the Armageddon's going to be committed anyway. There's a sheriff shot for you. Jorgamo almost going down to a bit of friendly fire. Meteor really delivering in a spot like this here. Convergent power was considered. Sidestep buzz is rapid. Right to the side. Firing off on every single cylinder. T1 say, we are not done yet. Going to try and take the fight straight to them. They burn them right back.
Where has that round come from? T1 coming out with a MasterCard Thrifty, but why are G2 committing every ultimate?
Yeah, I'm thinking about Meteor's ult. Steel Garden could have been perfect against a big buy like this when you're on the pick of guns, but he just takes the fight anyway.
He doesn't go for it. And then also, they do the same thing I've seen G2 do before, where Jorgamo mistimes himself playing around Trent's ult, takes a bunch of damage from it. I mean, that is a weird one. That is a strange round for T1 to be able to pick up.
Yeah.
But that's wiped out a lot of the ults on the side of G2. Whoa. Early spam battle buzzed down to 15 health.
Lucky to be alive in that spot here. TH there's no way you're disrespecting this, man. You're trying to get ahead of this. There's a horn in your face. Where you going? Nowhere to survive that spot.
This game is getting mad.
Yeah, mistakes being opened up, perhaps from the pressure. The understanding that this could be your last time to perform on the stage. Especially for T1. And order ready from behind. I mean, where's Valen come from? How's he got here? Straight up through mid, no consideration for it, even spotting signs of life immediate. We'll have to respect that though with a snakebite drop down at your feet. So as quickly as T1 win a round, looks like it's going to be answered back.
A collapse for T1 in this. And even that opening pick onto DH, he's having a rough game today.
He's having a hard time.
He's been asked to do quite a lot. They really want that aggressive B line because it helps out their information game so much, but he's just getting punished time and again. Yeah. The flash haunt combos are too much for him to be able to stand up against.
Needs some help, really, doesn't he?
It puts Meteor in a weird spot too, because when you're in a 4v5 like that, you don't know whether you really want to run in and help and try to burn your ultimate.
Last player standing.
And then, oh yeah, Leaf's behind,
yep.
just like VALORANT was earlier on.
I guess, okay. And easy with the operator, hoping that he can save it here in a spot like this. Does adjust the aim in time. Leaf's gone down, and it's a big map, so he might be able to save it.
But T1 need the last round.
They do.
Last round of the half here, and it's desperation already, and they've lost the ult. They've lost the ult.
Oh, there's no way they're going to get to him in time.
Find you.
You're right, though. They need this last round. They need it now. It's just overwhelming. Just the opening B setup, just a flash and a horn. It's very simple. The T1 have not found an answer towards, and you can feel that pressure. Look at it on his face.
Yeah.
He's really starting to stack up now.
He really knows he's let the team down there with how he's played that. Devastating when you've got a rookie as well, especially under such a high pressure, you know, team culture.
After that T1 documentary, not too much faith they're going to be bringing up the spirits, but we'll see. Clone dealt with early here. Izu very much alone, but he does have a little bit of help there from the side avenues. A-link position, double face through the smoke. Overwhelms Buzz. Really hard timing to take. Salvo's at your feet, DH. Sound cues cut away. Feeling that heat has been turned up and even expecting that re-peek. Izu does land the shot. Jonah P gone. Players making sure to reinforce this A side. They're in position to really push back. G2 is still squaring up to try and take it. This isn't posturing. No more players across the board here, but a spam into the box alongside it. But again, anyone is Izu's target. Double dash now to get back to safety here. One bullet left. We'll commit to that reload, and his team does have pretty good defense here. Stalwart is the nature of it, and Izu's still covering for it. The fourth round is earned for T1. The lifeline that they were looking for.
Buzz had to watch from the sidelines after dropping early in that round, and I thought that they crumbled, the pressure getting to them, but Izu steps up, gets 3 big kills of DH. Redemption for him after a couple of rounds where he fell early on. He's been so good since being added to this team. It's rough to see him not quite perform out there, but 2 big ones towards the end, and maybe that'll reset his mental for the next and most critical half.
Definitely potential for it. Maybe it's salvageable here for T1, but for now we're going to send it down to the stage for a nice and quick interview.
Et Samy est là lundi pour donner de la voix pour T1. I'm pleased to welcome Samso, a French streamer and T1 enjoyer here with me in Paris. So Samy, first of all, if you had to give me 3 reasons to become a T1 enjoyer, what would they be? Donc Samy, si tu devais me donner 3 raisons pour devenir fan de T1, ça serait lesquelles?
Bah, tout d'abord, c'est l'aura des joueurs de toute façon, leur merch qui est incroyable et le fait que quoi qu'il arrive, ils sont toujours dangereux en game.
Ok, une belle triade effectivement. So yeah, first of all, I think, you know, the competitiveness of the players, like even if they're going down, they're gonna battle for the victory. Second one is the merch, and lastly, the aura, and I think it goes for both games for T1, of course. And second question, we are used to seeing you getting a bit mad in ranked and stuff, but we see you here enjoying yourself, having a good time. So what makes Valorant the best game in the world according to you, Samy? Qu'est-ce qui fait de Valo le meilleur jeu du monde? Parce qu'on le sait, t'es un peu aigri en ranked, mais ici, tu as l'air de passer un très bon moment.
Ben, je pense que tout le monde rage en ranked, ça c'est pas une exception. Mais en tout cas, quand je regarde un match de Valo, moi je prends toujours du plaisir. Même les petites équipes peuvent gagner contre les grandes, etc. Et c'est ce qui fait que ce jeu, en tout cas, il est toujours plaisant à se regarder et tout, etc. Donc voilà.
So yeah, what I like about Valorant esports is that any team can beat any team, right? The underdog story, we have many of those, and even though everyone is getting a bit crazy in rank, that's also part of the game, and I think you are right on this. And let's see if the Samy buff will be enough for T1 to come back on Corrode.
They need every bit of help they can possibly get here, because T1, down in the doldrums, down by 4 rounds. A pistol round goes without saying, they need it.
We don't know really how good they're going to be on the attack side. Take a look at Leaf. He's going to be one of the players that has to fend off the double duelist on the other side of things. And he has had Meteor's number, hasn't he? 740 damage dealt. Meteor, double Masters winner, double MVP. He'll be bitterly disappointed if this champs run ends this early on, because he's competing with people like Leaf, for
Exactly,
example,
man. I mean,
you know, the big races, the big picture kind of stuff of best players in the world and potential greatest of all time, actually, when it comes to Meteor, even though his career only started a couple of years ago.
T1 have had that highest of highs. Now looking at potentially the lowest of lows. To make it all the way here, to have this be your final game. They can't stand it, and they've got to step up. They don't want that to be the case. They don't want that to be carved into stone as their legacy for 2025.
I like the idea of G2 putting 3 players on B, because this composition loves B popping. Neon Waylay, very powerful at that, but T1 subverting expectations and just silently contact walking up to the smoke in mid. Prowler through it, but they are going into the stacked side.
Paranoia does connect. Well, it's going to be slowed down here. These players just trying to hard anchor into their spot. Jorgamo also hard committed. Frenzy in hand will commit. That TP now gets the hell out of there. T1 being hounded and pestered from every single direction here. They can't win a fight. Plant is down for them. That's the only thing they got. Izu and Meteor are going to have to really step up. With the way that G2 are playing the discipline, it's in their blood. It runs deep here, and there's going to be that instant response with the swing, leaping into the fight like a salmon upstream. Trent delivering death blow after death blow here. It's a pistol round now, up to 9 rounds for G2. T1, they're in a dire, dire spot.
Kind of situation where you might even think about going for a force buy, actually. Not that they got very many kills, only 2 people fell, but at least you got the plan down. But I mean, you really are in a rough position now. G2 running away with things. And this is a reminder for anyone who hasn't been keeping up.
4 kills on pistol and 7 in total.
Yeah, that's the life of an initiator sometimes.
Perfect call. Perfect call.
Yeah, that B stack, like I was saying, was a really good anticipation of what T1 were going to do, and they don't go for the force T1 here. Going to allow G2 to get up to double digits.
This would get very bloody if T1 just decide to go all in here. Leaf holding down towards elbow. He's got that judge in hand. High ground has to be smoked off. A lot of presence, a lot of pushback here, but T1 not looking to commit.
Meteor maybe trying to take a fight against Valen in mid.
He's got a sheriff.
Slip past.
He's got a sheriff. Spotted the player. Should be set up for it as well. No way, man.
Valen's stinger is unbelievable. How does it hit like that?
Yeah.
Perfect first bullet accuracy. Aim punches Meteor immediately. No response. No chance. When you look at the stats, G2 are, across stage 2, the best team in the world when it comes to defense. Some people talking about them just farming an easy region in Americas, but they're out here doing it against some other teams too.
Now that judge trying to make good work with it as well.
One enemy
Ignoring about pulling out the util, but it leaves it just down to Izu. He does pick it back up, but again, not long for the world in a spot like that. Almost flawless, one short of it. But G2 didn't come here to play, they came here to make a statement.
And then we're talking about revenge. I think they weren't really just motivated to win this game. They were motivated to crush this game. I think it's indicated by the words that Valen was using, where he was talking about making their lives miserable, knocking them out in groups here.
4 players of G2 stacked up, looking to make it bloody. Skirmish has opted into here with a blind and a flash around their face, but there is no response with a hinder. Slowly gliding back down to the ground, still overextending. Jorgamo's there, lying in wait, outlaw in hand.
There's no way they anticipated 4 players being over here.
Crazy.
And Jorg's already out.
Dips himself back, looking for the potential reaction of T1, but they're left reeling, wondering.
So much faster around the map for G2.
BTS, instant traded. Trent is there, hot on the heels.
Locating target.
He's out in the open when he's drunk, this, no?
Yeah. Guy
Guy does not care. Right from mid. DH should be able to get a free kill. Only the box covering. Yeah, there it is. So, punish in sight. 2v2 now. T1 have themselves an in.
Slowly moving around the map. Stacks and DH. They might hear that footstep over towards A. It's only the clone. And Jorg's got an outlaw, so both of these players with full armor don't have too much to worry about. They should be able to get a spike plant down, but Jorg can be nasty in these kind of spots, and any damage is going to be tough for T1 to recover from. They need 6 rounds just to get the gap back.
Yeah. Plan down that.
Planted.
If you're T1, you've got to be thinking 1 round at a time is how you take it. Guns picked up and reclaimed. Bit of a recycling operation here, but it's all watched for and managed by DH with Leaf and Jogamo put to dust. So T1, they survived, 2 players intact, 2 guns going into the next tier. You do have to take it, thinking about it, 1 round at a time, 1 step at a time.
G2 had so many things going on in this round. The fight over towards A, the stack, going back, re-clearing down mid. T1 a lot slower to respond. Still came out the better of it towards the end, but not inspiring too much confidence. Meteor's 1 away from an ultimate, though, that could be extremely important in a round like this.
I'll find you.
Over the top of the horn, there's no real posturing here from G2 over towards B main, so they'll have the opportunity. A lot of Yuto being sent in for the wide exit, but no coverage here. Jogamo, he can just tuck himself into the shed. Picks out DH like it's nothing, and that's no more smokes available now for T1. Player disadvantage, get themselves onto the site. Not giving a plan to Meteor, he's not going to have his ult for the next.
I don't know why Meteor doesn't play for ults more often, but never mind.
Yeah, we're going to see a fight taken anyway, out towards Link. That's a stun connecting. Slowing him down, they really want to take this fight towards him. Trent is in a bit of damage. No way, man! He's applying the hurt! And that's salt in the wounds at this point. 3 kills. He was complaining about all of them coming from the pistol rounds. After this, I don't think that's going to be the case. Salvos drop down. Circles of death here and denying any chance of retaking, coming back into that round. 11 now for G2.
Stax can feel it slipping away, can't he? Individually not having the world's greatest game, but also these execs not looking quite as drilled as DRX, for example. Domestic rivals of T1, former home of some of these T1 players as well. They have the Yoru, the flashes coming through. Plus this Neon not throwing the wall there for DH to be able to get a clean TP into the corner. T1 not looking quite as drilled. And I don't know why Meteor didn't just pick up the orb and go for a free ult into the B side to open.
Little details going to miss.
Very far a miss, because now onto an eco round and you essentially have to give G2 match point. They'll be begging to get some stinger value here.
Trying to really just send it flying forwards. That Seas connects though. Like a bungee cord, going to be springing these players right back, but Meteor might be able to get it done. That's a Sheriff. Makes it sing up towards mid, and that's a wide face as well, setting them up for success with these fights. T1 have access to the site.
Yeah, the Thrifties are working for them, aren't they?
Maybe that's part of the key as well, just trying to send it a little more, taking those risks. Meteor making sure to cover those angles, and he's even got a bit of backup. TH going to be joining him. Jonah P sidestepping, but doesn't really want to overcommit into this. Hold on, that gun picked up. There's a good punish in sight. 1v4 for Jonah. Spot like this. Back is open though to Izu. He'll deliver it. It's execution style here. Massacre Thrifty for T1.
It's the second one that I remember on this map. So that's at least a third of the rounds for T1 coming off the back of winning Thrifties. And maybe it's to do with the pace like you're talking about, Brent. Maybe they just need to be playing with a little, I don't know, more...
less respect.
Yeah, more whimsy.
Yeah.
Sending it.
The back of that round loss, you're seeing an immediate adjustment. It's a timeout taken by G2. It does give T1 an in, so they can actually communicate because they used 2 of their timeouts prior.
Yeah, so an opportunity here for Autumn to actually have some input on their attack side. Maybe fix up something that was going wrong with their B exec.
Yeah.
Maybe seeing if they can get Meteor in a good position to actually utilize his Steel Garden, because this is the round to do it. You want to be using attack side ults right here to stop G2 getting up to 12. To throw off any adjustments that Josh is going for, and to break their economy again. This next round is a must-win if T1 wants to come back and keep their playoff dreams alive here at Champs.
G2 pulling out all the stops to ensure that that does not happen. Want to slam shut that door in the face of T1, ensure that that distant memory of lifting the trophy at Bangkok will remain just that. More chances for them to do it further into the tournament. It's G2's time. The entire year has been building up to them lifting trophies. They've done it regionally, but never been proven on the international stage.
Lots of input there coming from the T1 assistant coach. And it looks like everybody heading over towards A apart from Meteor. Now, E2 one away from an ultimate, so it might just be a play for this ult orb. See what the opener looks like.
Doing a thing.
Spot Jonah P. So Hinden's going to be laid down to his feet, but he does just escape and dodge the eye, but not the shots. Izu.
What an entry.
Yeah, like a lightning bolt. He's all the way in. Valen just trying to tuck to the side here. That dodge and juke to the side. It's an instant trade by Stax. It needed to be so. Has to be clean from this point on by T1. On their way back in. Maybe they've hit onto the mark of what they needed to do. That was fast, pacey stuff by T1.
Face your fear.
Comp allows, and even a Nightfall committed. Feel how tenuous this is. They want to hold on to any lead they possibly have. Give no possibility for G2 to get back in with Jorgamo done. Drop back to that spectator seat. Bit of spam and a salvos though into the appropriate corner again, but it is that 2v3. Looks like G2 don't want to play for it though.
Both players caught by the Fade ultimate, locked out by a smoke.
Next turn. Hold on, T1 are just hunting these players down.
Last player standing. One enemy remaining.
I mean, technically a 1v1, but actually just Leaf trying to get out of here with
trying to
the
survive.
weapon in his hand. This was a must-win round for T1. And it's that fast pace again.
Yeah. That might be the ticket.
And they weren't shy about using ultimates as well. I mean, they weren't playing for the ult at the start. They were playing to trying to punish the player who was denying the ult orb.
Good.
Really big catch there at the very start of the round on the Jonah P. G2, their economy, left reeling. And this is where the doubts might start to trickle in just a little. You've lost 2 rounds in a row, now your economy's pushed down again. Certainly if they lose another big rifle round, G2, we're going to be talking about mental resilience.
Bring them down.
G2 are trying to gamble on the Thrifty here. They had 4 bodies heading over towards B. Now that Prowler and Paranoia are coming through, these defenders are going to start running towards Jonah P's side.
Jonah P is posturing, pretending like there's more players backing him up here. Firing out the util, Smoke's going to be able to help him out, potentially slow down, but T1, they don't respect it. They're going to be sending it flying forwards here. Jonah P could be in a bit of a difficult spot. Stun connection as well. Oh, there's connections as well, though. From the Sheriff in the hands of Jorgamo, Convergent Paths has to be committed. It's getting dangerous now. T1, they don't want to lose grip of it. When you have the advantage, you send it. You know how good G2 can be with that weaker weaponry.
But they're all retaking from the same position. It normally doesn't work on Corrode.
Dimensional Drift even being committed. He's going to be able to get them all the way in here. This is ult's committed from G2's side of things, even if they don't have the weapons. A salvo into the corner, spotting out Izu. That's disconnected him from the rest of the pack. T1, you're going to have to step up now and really put the shut down onto these G2 players. Their weaponry has to be an advantage you play into, but with the rifles in hand, it's not doing too much at all. Smoke's in the face, angle being held. Stax has got this one surely on lock, but it's left to just him. In a spot like this, in a 1v2, time taken away. He needs to find it, now, he will. T1, stay alive.
Enormous medal reserves there from Stax. He's popping off in the comms afterwards as well. He had to stand firm, had to be the pillar for his team to rely on. Was fragging earlier on in this game, had him towards the bottom of the scoreboard, but there does exactly what's required of him. What a chaotic moment. There were definitely chances for G2 to win. And now they've got rifles up. Another round where Meteor could get big value out of his ultimate. You've got to have a set game plan around this one.
Hooked up again. Beam in with a pit, drop down, lay it out. It's going to billow through. So Leaf has control, but that is not where T1 are setting their sights. A has been working.
It has.
They don't want to change it up.
If you try to jump spot, you get punished by the waylay.
Almost one of the angles here. Slaying through. Now here it is. Steel Garden sweeping past. Players are going to be committed and weapons torn away from G2's grasp, so they can't contest this one. Free real estate for T1. The Nightfall is going to be answering straight back here. G2 are saving these ults for the rainy day. It happens to be now. It's pouring for them. They're going to try and billow out into the back of the side here. Finding some targets. Izu again, hard committed into the corner. SamQ's going to be cut away from him here. All comes down to the trades and the shots. G2, the ones on top. Finding it, flash, dodge and avoided. Stax really stepping up, and now he's the last one left. To Nightfall committed, hard forwards, and right from the side, the flank. That's a bitter one, and it's going to hurt for T1. In that spot, really feeling strained, forced, and pulling the util. The ultimate's out of them. They had to use everything, but it is G2 now up to 12.
You can't ask that much of Stacks 2 rounds in a row. This time as well with a player behind him. Incredible patience here from Lee. He was the only player coming from a different angle, and he waited, baited his team, but perfectly done.
Nice!
Comes around the back, grabs 2. Pressure on T1, but the economy not good for G2 either. A Stinger, a Judge, and no ults to work with. Yeah. No great ults, to be honest, on either team, but Buzz might still be able to tear some people apart with this one.
And a weaker weaponry hasn't stopped G2 in the past here. There still is the impetus. Every single round counts at this point for T1.
Retrieving flash.
Got to give it their all, otherwise they are done, finished.
4 in a row just to get to overtime.
Yeah.
4 match points here for G2. More than they ever had in the Bangkok Grand Finals, and that was over the course of 5 maps. A banger. This one could close in 2.
High tide, a bit of fake presence and pressure coming in from T1. They're looking to see if they can pull rotates. Across the map there. Storm to try and cut off the available avenues. Open, sightline out up to heaven. Needs to be watched for. A couple of shots as well going either side. No one falling casualty though. And through mid as well. Looks like this is a bit of late delayed pressure. Valorant still holding it in the game. And Timing's just spotted it. Bullet's going to be rattling there through the wall though. Buzzu shrugs off the damage. Meteor, you need to be winning that now. Valen, classic in hand. He's done more than enough damage here with the Judge into close proximity. This is really dangerous. T1 are being ripped apart, ripped to shreds. And leaves playing with them, playing with their food. They put them in the grave and they send them home. G2, they qualify for playoffs.
Vengeance, absolutely cold out there. They had swagger and arrogance right from the beginning, G2. They knew that they were coming in, I think, in slightly better form than T1 were. Coming off the back of 3 domestic titles in Americas and clean up. And I think to some degree, dispel those phantoms that were chasing them after not being able to get the trophy in Bangkok that was so close. It was within touching distance, but here today, doing a great job. Dismissing a rival. And heading through into the more difficult games in playoffs.
In their spot, doesn't mean we saying GG, well played to T1. An earlier exit than they hoped for. They've had the highest of highs this year. We were saying that earlier with that Bangkok trophy lift, but they were hoping to at least put up a little bit more.
Yeah, we've seen teams do that where, I mean, I'm thinking about Sentinels, for example, where they lifted the Madrid title and then came back on a big run to make top 4 in champs. Despite the fact they didn't perform that well in the middle of the season, but not the same narrative for T1. Bit of a flash at the start of the year and not too much else, but here's G2, consistent as anything. Never quite making it to the very top of the mountain, still hoping that champs is going to make the difference there.